Nightly news for this Monday. I'm Tom Yamas. We thank you so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
The Sharks' first day back to school appears to be a shaky one as parents and stakeholders raise concerns over unsanitary conditions of the Simon Sanchez portion of the Tiyan campus. I'm Don Sulet, and tonight we take a look into how things are looking for our Sanchez students as we begin the school year.
And the Guam Fire Department identifies the missing swimmer as 28-year-old Nico Camacho, as his mother and family ask for the public's continued assistance.
Honoring Guam's Indigenous heritage, shining a light on Chamorro culture and the importance of preserving it for future generations.
Good evening and happy Tuesday, Guam. We're so happy you tuned in tonight. Hafaday, we are KUAM News. This is Prime Time. I'm Jason Salas, and these are your top stories. Well, although many school students were met with a warm welcome back on their first day yesterday, that does not appear to be the case for our Sharks, as parents and other stakeholders are bringing to light some rather concerning conditions that Simon Sanchez students are being placed in as they co-inhabit the Tiyan High campus. Reporting on tonight's top story is our Don Sulat.
The first day back to school appears to be a shaky one for the island Sharks, with reports of unsanitary and lack of teachers making headlines. With Simon Sanchez High School's physical campus continuing to be in limbo, the Sharks are now co-inhabiting the Tiyan High campus with the Titans. Franklin Leon Guerrero, acting GDOE superintendent, clarifying with KUAM prior to the start of the school year that this will not be double session.
There's going to be two schools, separate but equal, in the Tiyan location. Tiyan High School, there's enough facilities that Tiyan High School can occupy a portion of the facilities, and Simon Sanchez can occupy a portion of the facilities, and some rollover space out here in the Tiyan buildings. But the fact of the matter is, it's not, they have separate locations, separate, at Tiyan, separate areas that they'll be having their learning experience at.
The Tiyan campus and its reportedly unsanitary conditions being brought to light by parents and concerned stakeholders. Senator Chris Barnett sharing those concerns on his social media.
So the students were made to sit out in the hallway, and they're being monitored by the SROs instead of being taught by a certified teacher. Also, some of the concerns I received, pictures from Tiyan. This is the Sharks portion of Tiyan. And it's my understanding, after speaking with DOE, that Cortec, the landlord, is responsible for the maintenance.
In response to the Tiyan campus conditions, KUAM speaking to GDOE Public Information Officer Damon Borja for comment.
The Guam Department of Education is aware of all the ongoing issues of the Simon Sanchez portion of the Tiyan High School campus. GDOE and Quartec are collaborating to address all immediate concerns before the August 21st public health inspection.
As for why the Sharks were allowed to occupy the school prior to the public health inspection, Leon Guerrero tells KUAM that the inspections are due at the end of the month.
So right now we're opening the door to all the students. Let's start the new year, and we will have work crews around for any final touch-ups to make sure that we pass the public health inspection.
GDOE is scheduled for an oversight hearing for this Thursday, August 13th at 2 p.m. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Don Sulet.
Well, the search continues tonight for 28-year-old Nico Camacho, who remains missing after disappearing in the waters off Gun Beach over in Tumon. At the request of Camacho's mother and family, GFD released his name and photo Tuesday as they appealed to the public for their continued assistance. GFD rescue personnel, along with the Coast Guard and GPD, continued joint search operations in and around Gun Beach. Crews are concentrating on Camacho's last known location and surrounding waters, conducting surface searches, dive operations, and aerial drone searches as conditions permit. GFD personnel are also searching the shoreline north toward Two Lovers Point. Officials say crews continue to face challenging water conditions and limited underwater visibility, with Camacho's family and search team asking boaters, fishermen, beachgoers, and anyone along the coastline to please remain vigilant. If you should happen to see anything that could help locate Nico Camacho, please call 911 immediately. In other island news tonight, a Guam man could spend another decade behind bars for his role in a string of armed robberies and an attempted carjacking. 29-year-old Gregory Bernardo was sentenced in Superior Court to 25 years with all but 13 suspended. Bernardo has been in custody since 2023 and will receive credit for time already served, leaving him with about 10 more years behind bars. Prosecutors had pushed for the full 25, arguing Bernardo posed a danger to the community after using a firearm to rob businesses, including stores and gas stations, and attempting a carjacking. His defense attorneys asked for leniency, pointing to his previously clean criminal record, remorse, and acceptance of responsibility. Presiding Judge Alberto Lamarena said the third said the full 25 years would be too excessive given Bernardo's circumstances. The judge also noted Bernardo could be released earlier with good behavior. Elsewhere, a 23-year-old man is behind bars accused in a pair of incidents involving a vehicular break-in, an attempted store robbery, and an armed chase in Upper Tumon. Mason Sony faces multiple felony and misdemeanor charges that could carry more than 33 years behind bars. Court documents state that Sony and two others first approached a man Friday morning asking for money, and hours later the man woke to his car alarm and discovered a shattered window and several items missing. Then early Saturday, police responded to the Star building, where a security guard reportedly spotted a pair of people near New Home Plus Mart and noticed damage to the business. The guard told police Sony suddenly appeared behind him holding a baseball bat. He ran and was allegedly chased by Sony and another man armed with a machete. When the guard returned, his scooter was gone. Sony was later spotted with the same two people while police were investigating the earlier vehicular burglary. To weather now, dangerous surf and life-threatening rip currents remain a concern for Guam as a strong monsoon pattern continues across the region. Large breaking waves of 8 to 11 feet are expected along west and north-facing reefs through Thursday afternoon, with a high risk of rip currents also remaining in effect. Officials warn the conditions could be dangerous for swimmers and surfers and may cause localized beach erosion. A small craft advisory also remains in effect for Guam and Rota coastal waters, with combined seas of 7 to 10 feet. Inexperienced swimmers are urged to stay out of the water, while inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid boating in hazardous conditions. Forecasters say seas should gradually improve by midweek, but hazardous surf and rip conditions could continue into next week. And with that, we are going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned, everybody. Primetime returns. You're watching KUAM.
Let's do this. Pack the backpack. Fill the lunchbox. Cover the basics. Start new adventures. Whatever's on the schedule, Kmart has everything you need, all in one stop. Kmart, let's make a great school year.
I grew up on Guam. Sports shaped who I am. But representing our island on the national basketball team taught me the importance of community. After 10 years in Hawaii, working at Bank of Hawaii, I came home to give back and to lead. At Bank of Hawaii, we're passionate about helping everyone in our community create a better life for themselves and their families to reach their possible. I'm Mike Sakazaki, and I can't wait to help you reach yours.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Primetime. Once again, I'm Jason Salas. Honoring Guam's indigenous heritage, shining a light on Chamorro culture, and the importance of preserving the history, language, and traditions that continue to shape our island, our Janice Carrasco sat down with Dr. Michael Bavacqua and has this next story.
The International Day of the World's Indigenous People may have been observed on August 9th, but its message extends far beyond a single day. The observance raises awareness of indigenous cultures and highlights the importance of protecting their rights. Here on Guam, it's also an opportunity to celebrate the Chamorro people and preserve their history, language, and traditions for future generations. Dr. Bavacqua explains the significance and importance of the indigenous people.
And so to be indigenous oftentimes means that you are the first footsteps there. You're the first people that breathe upon the land. And so your existence is intricately connected to that place. And your language draws from that place. Your vocabulary, your metaphors, your history, your culture can be very closely tied to the land, the resources, the air, the sea. All of these things are bound up.
He informs why Chamorros are considered indigenous people.
The Chamorro people set out in canoes from somewhere in Southeast Asia, and they traversed more than 1,000 miles of open ocean, and they came to these lands. And they were the first people in history to do that. This is one of the reasons why we want to celebrate indigenous people, is because all of these things in history push against them. All of these big powers, all of these big countries, their wealth, their privilege, their power, it all kind of is built on pushing indigenous people down. And so on a day like this, we elevate them, we remember them.
Dr. Bavacqua stresses the importance of preserving the Chamorro language.
The language is something which has endured so much, and when you speak it and when you use some of the most basic words today, like a word like tautau for people, pulan for moon, tsalam for road, even maybe a word like hanam for water. When you use words like this, langit for sky, mata for eyes, those words have been said by 1,000 generations going back. Learning your language is one of those ways that you maintain that connection. And that's the power of language, is that it is this beautiful tapestry, it's this beautiful living thing of all of what your people have been.
He shares how the Guam Museum and Repository preserve the indigenous identity.
One of the things that we can do, though, is that we can find ways that the artifacts that we have, we can find ways that people can connect with them, or that we can just help bring them into exhibits, bring the community to them to learn about them, or just if they've been buried in storerooms and collection spaces and no one has known about them for decades, we can find them and we can breathe new life into them, literally sometimes. Like, for example, this right here. One of our assistants, who's an artist, Dave Sablon, he pulled it up and he put his lips to it and he blew it, and it still worked. And this was the first time in probably centuries that this kulut was blown. And it still works after being buried for hundreds of years.
As Dr. Bavacqua passionately shares the Chamorro story, he hopes the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples inspires future generations to keep that story alive. Janice Carrasco, KUAM News.
All right, great job, Janice. Thanks so much for that story. Let's move to matters of island education now. As the school year is already in full swing, and with kids heading back to class, that means another cohort of student entrepreneurs will be forming ideas, running companies, and pitching products as part of the Junior Achievement Program. Here's how to get involved in this very worthwhile initiative.
Achievement is for any school, private school, public school, charter school, even homeschool students can participate, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what do we want to do so kids can understand exactly the kind of program that they're getting, the company they keep, literally and figuratively, the company they form, and then also what the skills they build.
So the main role of Junior Achievement is to, one of the mission I remember is for starting new entrepreneurs in this modern age, because for most people, we don't really get into entrepreneurship until maybe like college or in the adult life. So Junior Achievement has always been striving to promote this younger generation of getting into entrepreneurship and business early. And I think how it encompasses all type of schools, it allows everybody, or whether you're from a charter school as well as private or public school, that you all are able to get this introduction or this more of this early head start into business.
Okay, and I know when there's the Junior Achievement orientation, you know, some students from the same schools tend to kind of cluster together and they say, we want to get the early jump competitively because we're more familiar with each other. We come from the same, you know, backgrounds, like in a school like St. John's or Harvest. You guys have known each other since, you know, since the lower school age, since elementary. But some companies also, they say, diversity is good. You know, we have a variety of opinions, a variety of perspectives. So what do you think, like, when it comes to, like, the composition of your team, like, you know, working with kids from other schools or even the same school you're at?
Well, actually, last year when we first joined Company of the Year, that's what Austin and I were thinking, like, oh, since we're St. John's, maybe we can, like, start planning. But as soon as we joined the company and had our first meeting, it was just such a diverse group of all ethnicities from many different high schools and just of all ages. So in Company of the Year program, your age, your school doesn't really matter. It's just more of how you contribute to your own team and how you mix with the other people.
Okay, and in the end, we all want to be successful, and we all want to we all want to do something very, very positive for our island. And that's the one thing I love about Jay is you guys make it local and you showcase the best of Guam.
And there's some more of that interview. If you want to find more about Junior Achievement Guam, just go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/KUAM News. All right, speaking of a new school year, we here at the KUAM Care Force wanted to do what we can to equip kids at all levels with the tools they need to be successful. So we called upon a trusted partner and an old friend and tapped the strength of our community for our annual back-to-school donation drive at Raising Cane's.
What has now been a KUAM and Raising Cane's tradition is we are getting kids ready for school with this back-to-school donation. Thank you, man.
Absolutely, yes, sir. I believe this is year 4.
Yeah,
year 4.
We're in our senior year.
Awesome. Yeah, so today we're hosting a fundraiser. We're looking for donations. We're looking for the community to help out students going into school. For us, on our end, we're helping with 15% donation for the fundraiser. All sales between 12 and 2 p.m. will go towards a fundraiser. And throughout the day, anyone that mentions KUAM Care Force will also be part of the fundraiser.
Yeah, so we are taking any sort of school supplies that you guys would want to donate, you know, from the heart. That's what it's all about, because we want to send our kids back to school right. Elementary school, middle school, high school, you know, you can be pen and paper, school supplies, crayons, markers, anything that can help our kids. Because Dave, you said this is at the heart of Raising Cane's too, because you actually employ a lot of like high school kids, and you know, when high school kids get out of school, they normally come here. So this is a, you know, you empathize with this, and providing for the kids is big for you.
Yes, sir. So a lot of my employees are, this is actually their first job. As soon as they turn 16, 17, while they're still in school. Part of the reason is because we're also super flexible. We understand their students. School comes first. But we would like to help them out with, you know, small paycheck here and there, and help them learn some skills while they're at it. So yeah, you know, it's part of our core. One of our core beliefs is the community, education, first responders, you know, things of that sort. So we're happy to participate.
Dave, we have one more thing, you know, pop quiz, of course. What is in that sauce, man? I'm asking for the 4th straight year. If I can get you to budge, I'll consider it a win.
You know, love for the community.
You can't get the man to break. You know, the man is committed. He's committed to keeping the sauce a secret, and he's also committed to education and everything like that. So, Dave, thank you for what you do for our island. Yeah, we're sending kids back to school the right way. KUAM, Raising Cane's, it's a beautiful thing.
All right.
Now for a look at your world at home.
There's a reason the villagers call it Humatek by the Sea, and here's a beautiful aerial view of the southern village heading inwards.
Don't need to work afraid, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
When a crispier McCrispy strip is created, only the best sauce will do. Behold, chicken Caesar greatness. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for limited time.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
How do you want the mic?
Huh? Just pass it along.
In your mouth.
Oh, pass it around.
In your mouth, stupid. In your mouth. So, kind of
right here. Up here.
Hafa everybody, I'm Jason Salas, and we hope, thank God for the bleep button and everything, because we might use it a few times in this interview, because I have some members of the FD class of 1991. They are the winners of the FD Alumni Basketball Tournament for the Platinum Division, gentlemen.
Yes.
All right. Of course, Platinum being, the 8 classes that have now...
Vintage.
Yeah, 35 years and over. So this is your first year of eligibility. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
And obviously, you've seen these guys throughout the community. Roland St. Nicholas, like an educator, works in academics. Pat Lohan, who has been doing sports journalism longer than most people have been alive. So, the brains behind GSPN. Neil Baldovino is a successful businessman. So good to see you, Neil. And then Richard Ibanez, who used to come to Ipapao Estates and completely wreck shop when he played at our court and everything like that. Okay, now I'm a year younger than you guys, and I went to school with some of you in middle school at St. Anthony's, but I followed you guys when I was at Sanchez. Something about this class, Roland, we'll start with you, is so special. They always talk about it, FD brotherhood and everything like that. I mean, you guys talk so much smack to each other. You guys have all these inside jokes and everything like that, but especially when it comes to sports, this class is so unique.
Yeah, we have athletes across the board in almost every sport, and in the Alumni Association, we have like softball, bowling, basketball, and now there's rugby. And our alumni teams, when competing against other schools, most often end up on top. And us as 91, we do really well in bowling, basketball, and we do well in softball too, but we've taken second place like 3 times. But we're always in the hunt for the championship, and we're always trying to get better and do well together. And it's a great way for us to hang out and be together. 2
of the guys who actually were on the 91 team in high school, let's go over to Neil now. So, Neil, what a wonderful tournament for you guys to continue, to win. You guys had a big streak where you guys were always like the team everybody looked out for. How did you guys approach this tournament?
Well,
you guys are slightly older.
Yeah, understanding that we were going to be in the Platinum League was, we needed to dominate and show that, hey, we played 4 games against the young teams in the round robin play, and it kept us motivated, kept us going in for when we were ready to do the playoffs. But I live off island, so coming home, it was memorable for me because getting to hang out with these guys and the memories of playing basketball with them and then winning the tournament. Made it even sweeter. So it's like icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, people still talk about the 91 basketball team because they had so much size, and like Rich, you were one of those guys. I mean, your front court was unbelievable. You had, you had yourself, you had J.O. Nadera, you had Harry Chang and everything. Neil was the starting point guard or shooting guard at the time. Yeah, then John Scroll was the point guard. But you guys have gone from having like size and leaping ability as you've gotten older playing in this tournament. Now you guys are more like backcourt and you go for like speed in the guards.
Correct. So as they got older, they kept in shape, military, working out, going off island. Roland and me, we stayed on island to help the island of Guam. But on a serious note, yes, we did have a great 91 team. I mean, the coach at the time was Mr. Gilbert and Coach Phillips. he had the luxury of saying, Sean, go in. Rich, go in. Harry, go in. Jay, go in. Lewis, go in. You know, we had a bunch of guys. Robert, go in. And now it's opposite. It's, I don't want to go in. So it was a great 91 season.
And you guys got tuition payments, you guys got mortgage, you guys got chiropractor appointments.
Right. So I didn't play the championship game because, of course, you know, we had some prior commitments, but I was watching them. I played 2 games, and we lost both when I played. But, hey, just coming back to see this guy, Neil, he brings the best Turon. That's what I look forward to every time I come to the tournament, and I look forward to the tournament every year because hanging out with my brothers is something that I look forward to, and I cherish it for the rest of my life.
Okay, well, Pat, you know, like we used to play over at St. Anthony's, like on the court there and everything, but talk about how you've actually, as a journalist, how you've chronicled these guys, particularly your own classmates, and how you guys have been able to, you know, maintain, like, you know, Neil was saying, you know, you guys wanted to continue to be dominant.
Yeah, sure. And like Roland mentioned, it's across the board in all sports, right? So this is our, 7th alumni championship. It's not the most of any of the classes, but a lot of classes don't even have one. You know, we're the first class to do it in all 3 divisions, the first class to do it in 4 decades. That just proves, you know, that we're still alive and kicking and coming out and playing. Bowling, we've got several alumni championships. In softball, where we reached the championship game. We haven't won one yet, but we're always in the mix. So it just shows how involved and a lot of us here, the one that won the championship this year, like 3/4 of us, we weren't even on the basketball team in high school, you know, and we still come out. You know, you don't see, you have your shooters with Lewis and Dominic, and as far as scoring, Jay's inside, but everything else, everyone just hustles and has a good time. We rotate freely, you know, and it's just pure brotherhood, and we're happy. I mean, our big guns don't even come out, right? And imagine if they came out, and we'd be probably more dominant in this division.
Yeah, and guys, like where we are right now, I mean, this is the older FD gym. I mean, the Phoenix Center is absolutely amazing, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this place right here, non-air conditioned, you know, the acoustics are what they are and everything. Everybody knows it as the jungle. Your class, Neil, was the one that actually coined that term, right?
Yes, it is our 91 class.
Yeah, how'd you guys come up with that?
Oh, that's good. I'm not, again,
okay, there we go.
Yeah. So during volleyball season, our late classmate, Gerard Titano, right? He would bring his lowrider truck, and he was playing a song, right? And it was Welcome to the Jungle. So
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. So I believe it was Rui and I think Stro. He said, "Hey, Ernie, the Ernie Abandon said, can we play some warm-up music?" And yeah, what do you want to play? We said, "Welcome to the Jungle." So right back there, the late Gerard Cruz would reverse his truck, break out the speakers, and that's what you hear. Dun-dun-dun. And I get goosebumps when I hear that. We'll run, and then the tradition continues.
Let's go to Grandma's.
Oh man.
The only thing slower than her internet is her stories.
Yeah, last time my video loaded, I aged 1 year.
Is that? No way.
Woo! Awesome.
Grandma, your internet slaps.
Sign up for GTA Fiber today and get grandkid approved internet for as low as $75 a month.
Hey, let's go.
Oh man.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying, it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it. Couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love.
For the past several years, on every second Saturday of the month, volunteers would gather to prepare meals for the homeless.
Sita Tamada is the president of Enterprise National in Alamo Car Rental.
We started when we were at Sure Stay, and now we are doing it here at the Days Inn. And we also run the Days Inn Hotel. This is part of our community service, especially to our less fortunate brothers and sisters of the community.
Saturday morning, the crew prepared about 70 to 85 meals for homeless in the villages of Dededo, Harmon, and Tamuning. The meal, according to Tomato, was special on this Saturday because it was their infamous chicken adobo, fruits, milk, and water.
This is actually one of the best meals that they get during the whole month. They are looking forward to our chicken adobo.
Joey Baza oversees corporate marketing for Enterprise and is grateful for the help they receive.
It reaches out to not just our local community, it also goes out to also the men and women in service too as well. We just try to give back what we can to the community. Small token will always go a long way. I know once we do give it to them, it gives them that little hope of, there are some kind people out there. So whoever is willing to also help us out, donate, just feel free to stop by Days Inn, look for myself or Ms. Sita as well, and just help donate whatever you can and give back to the community as well.
His message to the volunteers that show up on the second Saturday of the month:
we're just blessed to have, them taking the time out of their busy schedule to help out. So a big thanks to them, because without them, we wouldn't have done this.
We have some guys from the military, that are helping us. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering about our member Brian with DLA here in Guam, Anderson.
And our young brother here. You want to introduce yourself?
How's it going? I'm Mason Phelps. I'm with the 36th DoD over at Anderson Air Force Base.
And before they got ready to head out to distribute the meals, Baza and Tamada had this to say to the community.
So whatever we do, we always give back. I think what actually we value in life is just what we leave behind, right? So whatever we leave, we just want to make sure we leave a lasting impression for everyone to know that, we're not, yes, we are busy, but we can also give back to our community as well.
Also, I want to encourage others to do the same. We are blessed. If you are blessed, I think it's also a blessing to bless others.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. Okay, half a day, everybody. News Bites for you. All right, now to the committee that is putting together the Run Against Crime. I know my friend Davina Evaristo. I'm going to interview her later on this week. She said that you guys are watching and you guys are super excited. Hey, I got to tell you, we the community are super excited and thankful and grateful for you guys for putting this together. So everybody out there, if you're a runner, if you just care about our community, please register, because on Saturday the 22nd, we will be descending upon Agania McDonald's. McDonald's. All right, I'm old school, right? I still say Agania. Make sure to show up because it's a sunrise run, and this is a very, very wonderful course. You're going to see our beautiful downtown, the centerpiece of our island, and you are going to take a stance against crime on our island. Really, really cool stuff. And this year is a very, very significant year. More on that to come on YouTube. All right, the Pacific Hotel and Restaurant Expo is coming up. Fair is back, baby, and we are going to show the very best of Guam, our hospitality, our food, our beverage, everybody. I mean, if you really want to see the very best of Guam, our tourism, it's for the locals, it's for the military, it's for our visitors. Make sure to swing by Fair, because the vendors are going to be there, the technology is going to be there, the partners are going to be there, and you are going to have a blast. I've done Fair like a bunch of times, always a good time. And then the SNP clinic in Sinania. You know, last week was the adoption clinic over at GPO by our friends at Guam Animals in Need. The SNP clinic is back, and for just $50, you can make sure that you responsibly and safely take care of your favorite pets. Please make sure you get your pets spayed and neutered, because Dr. Mariana Turner, the territory veterinarian, was telling me the problem of so many strays running around our island with no home and no families continues to exist. So we want to get that number down, and we need to make sure that we spay and neuter our pets. So swing by Sinania and make sure you take care of your pets. And now, for birthday shout-outs, we have a very special person who got a tremendous shout-out from her very loving family. Okay, everybody, check this out.
Rain Zenny Cabrera Bobbin has a special birthday today and an extra special shout out from her loving family, and it's her 7th birthday, so check this out. This is the most wonderful shout out. To the most magical, funny, and cuddly girl in the whole wide world, may your special day bring endless joy, laughter, delicious cake, hey, I'm all about that, and your favorite fried rice with sunny side up eggs and bacon. Hey, that sounds good. They also say, we pray for your happiness, prosperity, and endless blessings as you grow. We love you so much. Sending you all our love, Mommy, Daddy, Rodian, Nathan, Nicolette, Grandma Bobbin, Auntie Sandy, Auntie Jeannie, Francois, Christian, Ron, Grandpa Cabrera, Uncle Fernando, Isaiah, Gucci, Cap, and Oreo. Whew, that's a lot of love. So Rain, happy 7th birthday from all of us at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery today. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. Okay, everybody, you know what happened today? It was really, really raining, then it was really hot, then it rained again and everything. But regardless of what the conditions are, please be safe on our island's roads. And remember, it is school again, so people are getting up early as they take their little ones to school. Please be safe out there, everybody, because we want to see you tomorrow night. I'm Jason Salas, and from all of us, have a pleasant Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Wellness Renewal Podcast is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Clara Calvo, bringing you your Wellness Renewal. Today I am here with someone who has incredible services that she provides, everything from body work to energy work. I'm here with Mary Da'ala, who is the founder of Earth Star Holistic Health. Half a day, Mary.
Half a day, Claire. Nice. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Yeah. I'm so excited. There's so much that I want to talk to you about. But first, I never asked you this, even though I've been seeing you for years. What inspired Earth Star Holistic Health? That name is awesome.
Thank you. So Earth Star is a name of a chakra about 6 inches below our feet. And it connects us with all that is and was and will ever be. And when we work on the Earth Star chakra, we're not only working on our energetic body and our auric field, but we are also tapping into the energy that surrounds the earth and the web of life.
Wow, that is, okay. I wasn't expecting all that. That is incredible. So that is a great segue to talk about what inspired you to even get into this kind of work. I mean, we have both, you're an incredible massage therapist, licensed massage, but you also work, you do energy work as well.
Yes.
So what got you into both?
So getting into both, I think when we talk about holistic health in general, it's really rooting us back to our ancestral practices, indigenous practices. So growing up, my parents were both really into combining ancestral indigenous practices as well as technology and modern science. So growing up with an alkaline water machine was something that, was available to me. And then also different herbs that we would work with and different forms of healing too.
So are you down a Healit? Is like, are you generational of Cirujanos, Healits?
I don't know exactly people in my immediate family that are Healits, but I do know my grandmother did practice fire cupping as well. And I feel like that is just something that's already interwoven in their practices. And Healit is such, body work in general is such integral part of Filipino culture.
Yes, yes. So this is something you've always been interested in?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've actually been massaging and getting paid for massage even as a child. So it was never on my radar to do as a career or even a business. But when my dad was diagnosed with cancer back in the early 2010s, I was working in the fashion industry, living out in LA. And I was so engulfed in the industry and stressed out because the fashion industry is very cutthroat. But when he was diagnosed, I was like, I know nothing that can at least support him or provide some sort of comfort or any type of support.
Yeah.
So that really changed my perspective I was working with already herbal products. I was doing product development for a natural product company down in San Diego. And I was like, I can incorporate this with what I'm already doing. So just from my time in LA and then moving down to San Diego and then bridging those gaps from the fashion industry and then more of a holistic herbal company led me to find a holistic health school in San Diego as well, which blended massage therapy and herbs. So that was kind of...
So would you say that with your dad having that diagnosis, that was something that kind of sparked your interest to get deeper into this field?
Yes, absolutely. And then I completed my training for holistic health and massage. And when he passed, actually before he passed, a really good friend of mine gifted me a shamanic journey. And we were in the Philippines at the time for his treatment.
But really quick, because some people might not understand when they hear shamanic journey. Can you just explain a little bit what that entails?
Yes, so shamanic journeying in my practice, because it's different for so many practitioners, I work with my ancestors, my guides, such as power animals, herbs, and we work with either my own energy field or if I'm working with a client, their guides, their ancestors, and finding imbalances and intrusions of energy and bringing their system back into balance with the intention of holding their highest good and the highest good of all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is what holistic health and wellness is about. And that's why I thought it was important to have this conversation.
Slow roasted chicken at Taco Bell. It's inside the new Cantina chicken rolled quesadilla. Yeah, it's in there. He gets it. The new Cantina chicken rolled quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
Tourism, it's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports more than 50,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 5 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $163 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,700 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry, helping make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Visitors Bureau, celebrating over 55 years of tourism.
August is National Wellness Month.
Oh.
And so a lot of times I think we separate the brain from the body, from like the physical to the mental, emotional to the energetic, forgetting that no, we are whole, we are all of that.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful that you practice, you don't do the separation, you bring it all together and get to the root of issues and see the connection.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So moving into, for those who don't quite understand, like you already discussed a little bit about what a shamanic journey is. So you are a licensed massage therapist, and when you say holistic health practitioner, that involves everything from
the physical body as well as the energetic and the emotional body. I do like to incorporate herbs as well, because you can massage a muscle all day long, but if it doesn't have the minerals, the materials it needs to reset and repair, then it's all for nothing, really. So you have to provide an environment of healing. And I think at the root of holistic health is nervous system regulation.
Yes.
And
there's a lot of talk about that, especially lately. In the past year, you hear a lot of people talking about regulating your nervous system. So what does that mean? What does that look like for you?
When we talk about nervous system regulation, we have to talk about the 2 states of the nervous system. We have the parasympathetic state, which is rest, digest, repair. And then we have the sympathetic state, which is fight, flight, or freeze.
Or fawn too, right? Now
yes. And the society, and when you look around, everyone is so stressed out. So holistic health really brings us back to supporting that nervous system regulation and coming back to that baseline of groundedness. And when we speak of groundedness, it really talks about how well can you go from chaos to centeredness. Do you have the tools? Do you have the education? Do you have a practice in place that brings you from a chaotic, unregulated space back into your body?
Right. And I think now it's becoming more accepted. You know, it's not considered fringe anymore, even with massage. Now insurance companies, you know, cover massage, or at least, you know, a portion. And I think a lot of this, because a lot of the work you do involves, you know, massage, you know, people are like, oh, it's just relaxation. But relaxation is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. And like you said, it has a lot to do with our nervous system. So if you are bringing someone into like a session, what does that involve? Like, so what does that look like?
Depending on the type of session they're booking.
What are the different services?
So I offer body work as well as my energy work.
And then you could also interweave them.
And I do interweave them, yes. Those are my favorite sessions. When it comes to body work, it almost always starts with seeing the body. The first part of touching is seeing. So we almost always start with a postural assessment. So how is your body interacting with gravity? So I check out their shoulders, their hips, how are they holding their body? And then I go into asking them questions. What type of movements do you like? How do you like moving your body? What postures do you find yourself in majority of the time? Have you experienced any injury, any surgeries? That lets me know where to dive into these imbalances, whether that's a myofascial restriction, maybe even impeding lymphatic flow or circulation, or maybe even affecting digestion. Because of course, if one area of the body is restricted, it is this domino effect throughout the whole body.
Right.
You could be experiencing weekly migraines, but the root cause may be because you're always like this.
Yeah, or clenching your jaw.
And clenching your jaw, yes.
I know that because that's what I do.
And then also to that, I've noticed when people experience TMJ, that is not only a physical experience that they're having, but it's also an emotional and energetic experience.
Absolutely.
And I've been finding in my clients in recent years that TMJ is connected to withholding one's words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even in yoga, we just, like when I take someone through, you know, a class, it's always being mindful, because I see people like, and it really is, and we talk about it as well as like, you imagine holding a mask up and screwing it on and feeling, whether it's the mask that you're wearing or words that are unsaid that you feel you're not worthy to speak, and just feeling kind of like, I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers. I don't want to stir, rock the boat.
I don't, exactly.
It's also very like generational,
yes,
right, as well. And that's why
especially
I love,
in women.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the fact that you work with the ancestral, energy and shamanic work, because a lot of our stuff is not, I'm learning, is not just ours, right?
No.
It goes down generationally.
Epigenetics, right? It can be passed down.
Yes.
And that cellular memory is stored. And when I do body work, and I've also experienced this myself, as we're really working the tissue and opening up fascia and releasing tension, oftentimes people experience emotional releases, and you may not even realize why you're feeling some type of way, right? So when we talk about emotional release, it often happens after deep body work, and we are releasing tension, and as your body is processing, releasing that tension, emotions may come up, whether that is grief, sadness, anger, maybe even joy.
Yeah.
But it is stored in the body. The body keeps track of all our lived experiences. And one day I remember I was getting a lot of deep tissue work because we were studying it. And I was driving to class, and a wave of emotion hit me. and I was crying uncontrollably. But we were already briefed that this was to be expected.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
receiving such body work, and as often as we were. And I just allowed myself to feel what was coming up and breathe through it and ground my energy. And it just, I felt so much lighter afterwards.
Yeah.
There was no reason for me to feel sad. I just knew that it was something that was coming up for me.
Yeah.
And to just hold myself and honor what was showing up. And then breathe and let it pass, you know, and sit with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is huge because I've had similar experiences, and I remember coming out of it like, this was supposed to be healing. This was supposed to feel good. Why am I feeling so emotional and sad? And it's like, well, it's better that it comes up to the surface to be released rather than stuck in there and suppressed or repressed and turning into something physical.
Right.
Right.
And healing is not only light and joyful and feel good. Healing is really honoring what we suppress and what is hard to look at, and honoring just all that we are.
Yeah.
And allowing ourselves to honor and respect that.
And a lot of times we're not even aware that we're holding on
Yeah.
because we're so, you know, I think we're conditioned to just be more in head space than heart space. So we're like, we're going through life and just thinking like, oh, everything's fine, and not really realizing. And so when something comes up, it's like, whoa, I didn't even realize that that was something I'm holding on to, because we don't really take the time or the space to slow down to really listen in.
Yes.
So stillness, right? Like you said, just be with it and be still and allow.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
In any of your sessions, because you've been doing this for quite a number of years, have you worked on anyone where it kind of, I'm sure you're constantly learning from like your clients, but was there any, can you think of any that evolved your idea of healing?
You know, that was, that's such a good question, because every person's story is theirs.
Yeah.
And when I think of my most profound experiences in sessions, it's really, that's a hard question, because in my shamanic sessions, I'm really just channeling and allowing what shows up for these people, and being that bridge for those messages.
So you actually communicate with spirit world?
Yes.
And you share it with them?
Yes, yes. Recently, I had a client come in, and she was, I could just tell her energy was off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there was just something that she was carrying into the session with her. And she was coming for regular body work. And then early into the session, she mentioned that someone had recently passed. She had news that someone passed in the morning, but she was coming in for shoulder issues. And as I was working on her shoulder, I kept hearing a name, and I didn't want to just share the name, you know, but I asked like, oh, what was the name of, you know, the family member that passed? And my client mentioned it, and it was the exact name I was thinking.
Wow.
And I was like, girl, I should have just said her name, but you know, that would have been so out of pocket.
Yeah. I should have been like, whoa, get me out of here. Yeah. So when you get those messages, is it because they're working with you?
Yeah, so it was shared that she was the family member was helping with her shoulder. Yeah,
okay.
I saw light being sent to that shoulder.
So if you're working on a body, can you see if there are energies. I mean, I don't know if it shows up to you as like light or energy, if there is like, let's say for instance, cancer. Is that something you could visually feel or see?
So people receive psychic information differently. So it's the different clairs, right? You have clairvoyant, claircognizant. So those are higher octaves of our senses.
Yes, yes.
How I receive energy is more of a knowing. And sometimes I feel it too in my body. So I'll work on people and we'll go through their postural assessment and their history. But sometimes I forget. But as I'm feeling the body, I just allow my hands to go where it's needed. Sometimes the body will be like, ask about this area. And so I'll like, did anything happen to your ankle? And they're like, oh yeah, I did, da 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 da. There was this time I sprained my ankle, or this was a fracture, but it was so long ago. But even though your body experienced that maybe more than 10 years ago, the memory of it is still there if it was never released.
With that book, The Body Keeps Score. Right? Our body keeps score of what's gone on, and if we didn't bring any full healing to it, it'll show up in different ways, right?
Yeah, different ways.
Incredible. I can't wait to have a session with you again.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase, but if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up soon, but I just wanted to also touch on something because it's so refreshing to hear science catching up with this. I mean, really, now they're acknowledging, I would say the last decade or so, how powerful a role chronic stress plays in our immune system, in our digestive system, when it comes to pain, when it comes to inflammation, systemic inflammation. And so you are someone who obviously tries to work people through chronic stress. What are some tools that you could, let's say for those watching or listening, what are some tools for people to use to work through, just like we were talking about earlier, regulating their nervous system?
The number one thing is breath. What is your relationship to your breath? And some people tell me